Hello, my dears. Daniela here, and welcome to another episode of the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. You know, something that is just crazy. It's blowing my mind right now as I'm thinking about it. But when this episode is published, my son will be just a few weeks old. It still sounds weird to say my son because I'm so used to having a daughter, and now I'm going to go from one kid to two kids, and gosh, crazy, crazy, crazy. So I do the Start Today journal. That's the journal that Rachel Hollis puts out, and I love it. It's super simple. Every day, it's just listing out 5 things that you're grateful for, and then 10 goals that you write them like they've already happened. So I do that every single day, and at least once a week, I say that I'm grateful for technology, because technology, along with time batching, and of course, my incredible team, who I just can never give enough praise to, they make it possible for us to actually go through this entire maternity, not miss a single Monday episode. Yet, at the time this is published, I can be snuggling on the couch with my little man. So that, my friends, is the definition of work-life blend. And it can be possible for you too when you run your business with systems and processes. And I know that what I teach is not the fun, sexy part of entrepreneurship. You know, it's really kind of the boring and tedious stuff, but it's what moves the needle. It's what makes the difference. And it's the part that allows you to have the family and the family time and feel like you're being present as a mom, but also have the career that you can do something that you love. You don't have to choose. You have to find the right blend that works for you. And systems, processes, technology, let those things work in your favor. So that actually leads me perfectly. That was a great transition to introduce you to our guest for today's episode. So I'm super excited to have my friend Victoria Tabak, who is a mom, a wife. She's got 3 kids. She's the founder and CEO of the skincare line Nature Pure. And she and I knew who she was online, but we officially met in person at the Beauty Business Summit. And I was just really touched by her talk and her story. I think between Victoria and Gata, who's my Skin Buddy founder, they both had just like these incredible stories that everybody was just so touched by. But with Victoria, she also, she shared this incredible story, but she also was talking so much about the science behind her brand, about ingredient knowledge. And you can see that just she has so much passion around this. And that was really impactful for me. So in the months following the summit, we kept in regular touch. And now I'm really honestly honored to call her a friend. So let me take a minute to just read her bio before we get into the interview. So Victoria Tabak is the CEO of Nature Pure Labs, a professional holistic skincare line with a mission to elevate the soul through skin wellness. The wide selection of products work to keep skin clear, healthy, and youthful. She's a 2-time international award-winning licensed esthetician, a published skin and wellness expert, and a nationally recognized skincare educator. She has more than 20 years of experience in the beauty industry, along with a master's degree in business, minor in chemistry. She's worked with other estheticians, dermatologists, plastic surgeons, and cosmetologists to formulate and revolutionize an approach to beauty that people love, alongside her father, a distinguished scientist. I mean, sounds like quite an accomplished woman, right? And imagine that with 3 babies at home. So she's incredible. I hope that you love her as much as I do. And let's go ahead and play that interview. All right, Victoria, welcome to the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. I'm so happy to have you as a guest on the show.
And I'm excited to be here with you.
So I knew who you were before the Beauty Business Summit, but I had never actually met you in person. So I'd seen you on, I think it was Instagram mostly, where that's really where I hang out more often. And And, I thought, oh, she's beautiful. She's smart. She, like all these nice things, but I never really got a chance to know you or hear your story until that summit. So shout out to Maxine for bringing a lot of wonderful people together. But it was such a great, I think everybody was really like the highlight of the conference was your talk and goddess talk. People were like so thrilled by those. So I knew that I wanted to bring you on the show just to let our listeners learn a little bit more about you and your brand that you have really dedicated so much of your life to creating and building.
I literally got goosebumps when you said that. As you can tell, I'm kind of emotional.
So tell a little. So first of all, for those of our listeners who are not familiar with you or your brand, can you tell us a little bit about Nature Pure and just about what it is that you do?
Yes, so Nature Pure Labs or Nature Pure Clinical Skincare, that is my baby.
Your first baby.
my first baby, yes. So it's a full professional holistic skincare line with a synergy between organic, clinical, natural. So it's most important that, of course, results, and there's a lot of science that goes into it and so much love, but of course, starting with the science. And there are over 100 different products. We have tons of perfectly customized and catered treatment protocols, from just fast instant results express services to holistic clinical acne treatment, to what is completely what our patent is around, which is treating menopausal skin changes. This is something that there was a big void in the industry, and my father, who's a distinguished scientist, we're originally from Eastern Europe, Belarus, so him and another brilliant mind scientist who's a professor at Yale University worked on this patent for over 7 years. So the technology behind that is what gave birth to our menopausal skincare treatment, and it's a natural treatment that offers an alternative to hormone replacement, which is so cool and so exciting. And we do offer a lot of education, obviously, in a nutshell, but there's a lot of science that goes behind it. And I've recently relocated the company after 20 plus years to Staten Island, New York, where we actually have a training facility. So that was another thing that was kind of on my bucket list, because for years I was here, I was there, I was everywhere, and I kind of wanted to create a hub where professionals can come to me and I can offer the service in that kind of setting. So for the acne, that's also based around our patented technology, and that's to treat hormone-related acne. But there's so much. There's the resveratrol, which is a red wine collection. Our original concept was the hippophaea berries, which I mentioned before. I'm originally from Eastern Europe, and my father, when we lived there, he used to travel to Siberia to work to make money, and the hippophaea berry was native to that part of the world. When we first created and launched the hippophaea berry professional skincare, people were like, "Are you from Siberia? Do you have bears walking on the street?" We're like, most of our hippophaea berries in the products today is grown in Canada, which is amazing quality. But all of the natural and organic ingredients do actually come from the source. So the berries are from the actual berries, the black currant. So, which is, in a nutshell. But we incorporate stem cells and peptides, and it's truly a synergy between science, clinical, and natural organic. And my approach to everything in life is holistic. It's about balance in everything. So I guess that carries through.
That really, what's kind of coming to mind when you're saying this is really, what does holistic mean to you? Because for me, from my background, I spent most of my career in medical. And there's this big divide between physician dispensed brands and day spa lines. And there's certain things that 100% they should be separated as far as, certain pHs that are, out of our scope of practice and things like that. But what really is the biggest difference? Like, what do you obviously have, a science background, you've got patents, that's really what I got from you at the talk was how focused and how in the actual science and technology piece you are. But then you also have this whole other like,
I just got goosebumps again. And then I'm a hippie at heart.
Yeah. But like natural is one of those words, for me, I'm like, organic, does that mean that it doesn't contain carbon, or does it mean that it's like, what does that mean? Like
chemistry class 101.
Yeah, but like, because some people are like, I won't use it if it's not organic. I'm like, well, this is a chemically occurring compound in your body. Does it need to be, like just making that definition of what we care about and what is actually marketing,
So the biggest thing, and this is something I think in life, in your practice, in everything, in being a parent, it's about balance. Holistic means balance to me. And I think that it's about staying on top of everything by being educated, by getting a deeper understanding of everything. There's nothing wrong with chemistry. There's nothing wrong with science. Everything is science. Everything is chemistry. It's about always looking at the bigger picture. Even new research, some of it is legit, some of it is not. Who is the source? Dig deep. Who is funding it?
Well, I remember what's coming to mind is the whole like parabens debate, right? Like parabens, for those, like there was a debunked study that happened I think it was in the 80s that was, said parabens were this terrible thing. They were causing breast cancer, like yada, yada, yada. The skincare industry got a hold of that and we're like, oh my gosh, we can't use parabens. Parabens are in blueberries.
Right.
Parabens are found in kangaroo.
It was the benzoic ring, which was similar to, so a whole other
what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like things get so blown out of proportion sometimes that it's like, this can be like, I'm sure there are parabens that we don't want to use, but there are also parabens that do no harm.
It brings back the conversation, which again is a very big topic for me, because I do a lot of education on I don't know if it cut out for a second, but I do a lot of education surrounding menopause. And specifically, that was a lot of the conversation around soy isoflavones. And I was like very gung-ho, I wrote articles about it. I always spoke about it in my class. I'm like,
because soy is related to estrogen, right?
So it's right, but it's a completely different conversation. It's not as soy bad for you, it's amazing for you, but the pharmaceutical and the meat industry did not want the cat out of the bag, which is what happened. People started when the meat and the pharmaceutical industry were like, we don't want anybody to start to consider soy for their skin, because then they won't want to eat as much meat. And then and that's exactly what happened, but the conversation really is genetically modified or non-genetically modified. But if it is a non-genetically modified, it completely is null and void. It doesn't fall into the conversation. Or even certain kind of sun protection ingredients. I get very fired up because I'm like, A, you risk skin cancer, or B, the percentage that is actually used in skincare products, depending, generally speaking, a person would not have that kind of exposure in like 3 lifetimes. So what are we talking about? It's you have to look at what is the actual conversation, So I think it's about putting everything into perspective, and it's always assessing where is the source. And that's where, the science and the research is such an intricate part of every single formula that my dad and I create.
So when for estheticians that are wanting to do their research, because I think that, there's so many skincare lines that I love, and I think that there's room for all of them to be incredibly successful, because it's really about, like, for the esthetician, finding the line that aligns with them, finding the line. So how do you suggest estheticians do that research to see, like, hey, this is what Nature Pure is all about. This is what we believe in. This is, here's this brand X and what brand X believes in? How do
Honestly,
they find the real research?
you reach out. I know for us in Nature Pure, especially if it's somebody that is just starting to work with us, uh, and for me, I have a very personal approach, and my team is amazing. We're like, it's not just business. These are human beings that we are connecting with, and we want to be there for them. We want to hold their hands. So, especially somebody that just partners with us, and we call it the Nature Pure family. But literally, I'm like, let's schedule. I try to also be very hands on with that first initiation process. I'll do if they can, if they're local, they'll come for the training. If they're out of state, we schedule webinars where I'm like, write down your questions. I'll do like a general overview, and then we go over Q&A. I want them to have the education. I want them to have the knowledge, not just because here your clients are definitely going to have these results, but I want you to understand, and I want you to, in an easy way, convey that to your clients as well. So they also, it's not like blindly, here you go, yay, party, results. Yeah. The results are critical and important, but how do you maintain the results? How do you make sure that you continue to get the results by understanding why the results are actually happening? So, yeah, reach out. That's what my team and I are like. That's why it's so important for us, those personal relationships. It's not just so that we explain to you, this is the treatment and this is how you do it, but this does that and that does this.
So for someone who, you clearly know a lot about ingredients, what are your top 3 can't live without ingredients?
My top 3, I mean, there's a lot, but Hippo berries. I love Hippo berries. That's, of course, one of our rare sources of omega-7. And actually on Nature Pure Labs YouTube channel, I have a little short, like 3 to 5 minute videos where I dedicate the video to particular ingredients. So I have 11 different ingredients that I talk about already, which I was doing for Dermoscope magazine, a monthly video column, but it had a great response. I'm going to keep going with that. But Hippo berry, you can learn about the legend. The legend's really cool, but it's in that video. But it is one of the rare sources of omega-7 in Eastern Europe. It's actually used in burn victim clinics, and it's such a small little orange berry, but it's so abundant. It's like malic acid, tartaric acid, quinaic acid. Literally, you'd need an entire fruit basket of everything that's in it, because normally malic is from apple, tartaric is from grape, lactic from dairy. So that's just one side of it. Then you have the vitamin A and E and C, and when you combine the E and the C, that's like natural UV protective. So it's like literally little miracle berries. They have amazing DNA repairing characteristics. They're just amazing for anti-aging, age preventative, for acne. They help soothe inflammatory skin conditions. So it's really, really amazing. And that was one of our original concepts. It's in probably like 75% of my formulations and treatments. So it's one of on the top list. I say it's Mother Nature's gift to us. The second I would say is the isoflavones, which, yes, I am a little bit biased because this is an ingredient that can only be acquired through the patented hydrolysis technology, which my dad and the other scientists created, but it is literally mind-blowing of how it works. Its chemical structure is very similar to real hormones, but it is not actual hormones. So it tricks hormone receptors to behave in a certain way. So if somebody is going through hormone fluctuations where it's like menopause or premenopause or anything fluctuating, it actually stimulates hormone receptors to trigger cellular memory, and skin starts to behave as it did when it was younger. And that carries along with everything the skin did when it was younger, it begins to do in a slow kind of progressive way. Or if somebody has hormone related acne, it actually blocks androgen or male hormone receptors. So it's really amazing. And that's specifically, again, the genistein derived from soy isoflavones, which I would say that's my second favorite. And my third favorite, I don't know. Oh my gosh. It's between a few. It's between a few, but I would probably say resveratrol would be between stem cells and I would say between stem cells and resveratrol. But resveratrol is just so amazing, and there's so much amazing research that is behind it about how it actually increases longevity, which was a test that was done on amoeba, and the amoeba was supposed to already die, but it continued to double and triple its lifespan, the amoeba that was injected with resveratrol. So not only is it a powerful antioxidant, and it shows that it has tyrosine inhibiting action, meaning can brighten and even skin tone, but it increases cell lifespan, which is amazing and cool. So
that's why the Italians live so long.
Yes,
All the red
yes,
wine.
yes, yes, and they're happy. Right, right. It's the wine. I'm a wine girl too.
Oh, well, that's so cool. So, when we were at the Beauty Business Summit, you were showing me this one product that was like, it like foamed and then you left it on. What was that?
So that was the Instant Energizer oxygen mask, which was kind of, it's so crazy to believe, but almost 10 years ago, we launched the first oxygen mask to the market, which was actually part of our resveratrol blackcurrant collection. And then for different reasons, I was like, we got to top. So this is what gave birth. And mind you, this was like a few years of giving birth to this Instant Energizer oxygen mask. So it is part of our hemp CBD collection. And what happens is you apply, it comes out like silky kind of gel liquid consistency. You apply it on the skin and then you just let it sit and work and do its magic. And it's literally like a little mini facial in a bottle. It begins to pull the toxins from the skin, but at the same time, it's infusing oxygen into the skin cells. So this is good for boosting collagen production, for helping cells with the healing process if somebody has acne. So this is one of those few products that is good for everyone. I have very, very few formulas that are good for everyone, but this is one of them. And at the same time, there's mulberry, arbutin, and licorice extracts in there that work to brighten and even pigmentation. So it has a lightening or a complexion brightening effect. And then the organic hemp seed oil in there has calming, anti-irritant, anti-inflammatory benefits. So it essentially calms redness, calms sensitivity, it brightens. It has papaya in there, which has a gentle exfoliating action. It's nourishing and moisturizing. It's literally like a little mini pick-me-up in a bottle.
Like a really cool treatment also to use in the actual treatment room, because it had the bubbles and the foam and it was like something cool was happening.
Yes,
on my hand. So
it feels very nice. It literally, it's like a pick me up. I tell clients, I'm like, in the morning, this will literally wake you up. In the morning, just splash water on your face, put it on, brush your teeth, and rinse it off. The only thing that I always say is it's about consistency. So don't get into the trap of every day, and then you're like, take a break. I'm like, do it. Tell your clients, do it once a week. So then this way they are consistent with it. It's not like they develop the habit. For that skin pick-me-up or for the treatment room, it is amazing. Clients look for it. They wait for it. And that's why it's also a really popular home retail product, because in the facial, they can't get enough. But in the facial, it's really nice to do after either after extraction. So it calms everything. They would just put it on the skin, put like a little gauze mask on once they see it is no longer purging or rising. And then over the gauze mask, they can do like a high frequency light therapy. That's one. Or two, they can do it after like a peel exfoliation process. And after they do that, they can apply another mask over it and do like another there's so many different things that they can do, but it works amazing in the treatment room, and it works beautifully in any existing protocol. It was originally launched part of the Skin Awakening CBD Renewal Facial protocol, but then we were just like added to every facial. Clients love it. It flies off the shelf. It's just an amazing formula that everybody loves.
Yeah, and what I liked about it is that it just felt like I feel like people are looking for experiential treatments, things that
Yes,
will do something different than just putting a cream on your face or,
yes,
it's like, what is this? Yeah, I think that's part of why these masks, the algae masks and those have
right.
become
Do you
so
know,
popular.
what's funny? Which is so funny, I guess, with my kids, you know what butterfly kisses?
Yeah, with your
Butterfly kisses.
eyelashes.
Yeah, my kids love this. This is since they were little. We do the penguin, the nose to nose, and the butterfly kisses, where you with the lashes
Yeah.
across
So
the
we do
face.
snuggle.
Yes, so
It
it
sounds snuggle.
literally, I would say the experience of it feels like butterfly kisses all over your face,
Yeah,
right? It's
it
like
does.
energizing and just like, don't stop.
Oh, well, this has been super, super cool. I really am excited to have the opportunity to share your line. Just like I think that it's incredible of what you're doing and how much passion you have behind what you're doing. It's very, very clear that you know a lot about the science, and I love that because really in today's world, anybody can start their own skincare line, right?
Right.
Anybody can go, and whether they want to just work with a lab to do the formulations, but your real passion is the science and the story with you and your dad having the patents and all of that kind of stuff. It's really, really beautiful. So I just thank you for coming on and sharing your story and sharing about your
Thank you
line.
for
And
having me.
for where can people find you and follow you and keep in touch with you if they want to know what you're up to?
So, a couple of places. The big one, Instagram. So on Instagram, to learn more about the products, the treatments, and I guess when other spas are sharing, that would be on Instagram, which is at Nature Pure Labs, to learn more about, I guess, my journey between mom, juggling business, and all that good stuff. On Instagram, I'm at Victoria Tabak. On Facebook, our page, where we also put articles, things like that, that's at Nat Pure Clinical Skin. Nat Pure Skincare is the handle. The page is Nature Pure Clinical Skincare.
We'll include all the links below
Yes,
so
yes,
people can
it's a lot of
easily.
links. We try to be everywhere, but I definitely, if you want to learn more about ingredients, product training, demos, things like that, that's on YouTube also at Nature Pure Labs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, my dear. I'm so
Thank
happy to have you on. And for
Thank you.
those of you, if you want to keep this conversation going, if you have questions for Victoria, anything you want to continue this chat about, be sure to head over to the Spa Marketing Made Easy Facebook group. You can tag us in there. And I will catch you on the next episode.